Hi, I'm Chuck Gibson. This is Loveland Beacon Talks, the Loveland Dairy Whip special serving. The Wileys, Luke and Melissa, along with their 4 kids, Madison, Jake, Leah, and Morgan, are the new owners of the Loveland Dairy Whip. They have a great story to tell about how it happened and why they're excited to continue the LDW tradition in Loveland. Luke, Melissa, and Morgan are here with me, along with the oldest daughter, Madison, joining us by phone. Jake and Leah are in classes at UC and Miami University. It's my pleasure now to welcome the Wileys to Loveland Beacon Talks. Well, welcome, Wiley family. So what I have here with me today is, well, the matriarch of the family.
Hello.
Melissa. Thank you for joining us, Melissa.
Absolutely.
And of course, the other star of the family that's sitting in the room with us here, of course, is Morgan.
Hi.
Wiley. Hi, Morgan. And also joining us via the telephone, Madison. Greetings.
Hello.
The oldest of 4.
The oldest. Well, and I was going to say, so Morgan and Madison, 2 of the 4 Wiley children, and I'm not going to forget you, Luke.
Oh, I know.
So and Luke Wiley, and it all starts there in terms of the new family ownership for the Loveland Dairy Whip, and who was unable to join us today, of course, is the oldest son, Jake. You said Madison, of course, is the oldest. She's the daughter, and Madison by phone is out in Denver. The youngest is here with us. We'll call this like Studio B.
Yeah.
And Morgan is, still in school here locally.
Tell them where you're going to go for high school. You've made the decision.
I'm going to St. Ursula Academy for high school, and I'm currently going to St. Susanna for 8th grade.
Perfect. So, and that's what we're going to talk about is who are the Wileys, and I just said Jake's not here. But also, I don't want to skip Leah, who must be in class or something at Miami
University.
University.
Both have evening classes,
So she couldn't join us as we sit here. As I said, in Studio B, coming up on 20 minutes after 4. So that's what's happening. But anyway, thank you all for joining us for Loveland Beacon Talks special edition. We're going to talk ice cream. We're going to talk Loveland Dairy Whip. And Morgan, you just jumped in there right now with oh yes. So how excited are you to become part of that?
I'm very excited. I kept telling my dad that he should get it.
Yep, there were several nights of me wondering, is this the right move? Should we do this?
And
we
I was
have
always
a lot
like, you
going on
should
in
do
our
it.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have to tell them the origin too, Dad. My dad was visiting me in Denver with some of our close family friends, and we were all having dinner, and we were all brainstorming on a fun small business idea that we would love to venture out on. Being a business major, I always, toyed with the idea of being an entrepreneur, so we were all sitting around the dinner table talking about it, and my dad's like, you know what I want to look into is a local ice cream parlor. And then from there, ever since September, he had his mindset on it. And so it's just a really cool story that it all originated when he was visiting me with some of our family friends.
That is when it happened. Yes,
correct,
ma'am.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? She just affirmed, because some of that you shared, offline, which I may have mentioned. I don't think I did in the written story, but you know what? You're making your dad look good, Madison, because he's told me the truth.
So, one thing he is not a liar. He's very truthful. So but that story will always resonate with me, of all of us just shooting out ideas, and here he made it a reality. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. Well,
that was pretty wild. If we had not gone to Denver for the dad's trip, that I didn't think of that. That's interesting. Where would we be now? Right, in the latter part of January, would this have happened? So that's amazing.
It may not have been on his radar at all. Have they not all gotten together and started brainstorming some fun ideas?
That trip to Denver was when?
It was in September.
Okay, so right about the time that they were shutting down for the season.
Yeah.
And of course, we've all established that, it was for sale.
Well, real quick, so I had called before going out to Denver and never got a call back.
Right.
So and then I Googled some things, and it had been sold, supposedly. And then we went out to Denver, and this wasn't on my radar, but to her point, we were brainstorming and talking about things. And I get home, and it wasn't that day, but a day or two later, my gym's in my basement, and I'm in between sets, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call Brittany, who's there's.
Well, I was going to say for the listeners, as you listen to this, Brittany is Brittany Fritsch from BF Realty, which of course was handling the sale of the Loveland Dairy Whip.
Exactly.
So, okay, continue.
Yeah. So I call her number and leave a voicemail, and it was along the lines of, Luke Wiley here. I had followed up. I'm assuming the deal went through. If it did not or something happened, give me a call.
Yeah.
And within, I want to say an hour, she called me and said, you're not going to believe this, but it just wasn't a good fit, the prior buyer. And here we were where it became real. Mm-hmm. And from then on, it was several meetings and looking at things and due diligence and
I like to tell the people, because they're going to hear this, and we're not doing a video, so they can't see you.
Yeah.
So Luke says, and then it became real, and he's smiling. Yeah. Just for you guys listening right now, he gets a smile on his face when it became real. So there's true excitement. Melissa, you've been kind of quiet so far.
Uh-huh.
And in a little bit of the story that we shared with the readers a week or so ago, he talked about how much credit you get for making this happen. So what's it meant to you and the whole process? What's it been like for you, Melissa?
Well, my husband and my children have inherited his true entrepreneurship nature and wanting to be serving the community. He has clients and he serves his clients really well. He has somewhat of what I call the Chick-fil-A mentality.
That's good.
It's my pleasure. And this is just something that he feels is something he can give back, a way that he can spread joy and wanting to share in his true lifelong love of ice cream.
Yes.
I mean, I always tell people, some guys it's beer or cigarettes or like some other vice that they have, but for my husband, he would choose ice cream any day,
hands down,
over any
soft serve too.
Anything else. And soft serve ice cream has always been a favorite, and being able to be involved in a small business where he can spread his love of ice cream.
Well, I think the people in Loveland, especially those listening, and even all around Loveland, who are familiar with the Loveland Dairy Whip since 1955, a rich tradition of soft serve ice cream.
Right.
And I've been there at opening day since about 2003, every year. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
You guys are ready for this?
Kind of.
Well, and we're going to get back to that, but what I want to do, because Melissa led into this great, he would choose ice cream, and he would choose soft serve.
Yes.
So I know, again, offline, the people didn't hear this, but they're going to hear it now.
Yeah.
You got to tell me the story about your 4 soft serves.
Yeah, so
I don't remember it all.
So because we all love to travel, my wife loves to travel, and I work long hours, and it's something that she loves to do, and I do too. So I always am good about, let's go traveling, right? Well, I turn 50 next month, and Melissa's like, hey, do you want to move our schedules around, maybe go to Italy? We hadn't been to Italy before, and she's mentioned all these things, and she saw me just kind of looking at her, and she's like, what? I'm like, the LDW. Opening day's the 28th. I can't go anywhere. I need to make sure this is right. So then we decided to go for New Year's Eve. We did a 4-night cruise with three of our 4 children were able to go. So they were shiplocked. They couldn't escape us. They had to have dinner with us.
Oh, yeah.
Their phones barely worked. So we had a great time on the ship.
Morgan shaking her head, eyes rolling. That's perfect.
Yeah, and on the ship, of course, they have for those who have been on a cruise line, unlimited ice cream, and I had 4 chocolate soft serves every day. Ice cream cones
On the ship.
I forgot that it was every day. I was thinking it was
no,
like one
every
day he
day.
had 4, but it was
No.
every day. So 4 days.
Yeah,
And he would-
If the
and
Loveland
it
Dairy Whip
wouldn't
is ever
be
out
like-
of ice cream, you know the answer, everyone.
Yeah.
if we ever run out at the LDW, it's because of me. You know?
And it was never like we were actually going to the pool. He would only go up to the pool deck just to get ice cream.
Bingo.
Yeah. He'd
Bingo.
make a special trip.
Not going to the pool, going to get. Hey, Madison, we've established, you're the business person. You are going to have to stay on him to keep the profits up if he's going to eat them.
Exactly.
Exactly. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be much help though because I told my dad my favorite is a swirl cone with rainbow sprinkles. So if we're ever out of either one, it's over. It's game
not
over.
good.
And mine's vanilla with,
All
Yeah.
right, well, here we're going to go around. Thank Madison. We got the swirl with the rainbow sprinkles. Morgan, what's yours?
mine's vanilla with rainbow sprinkles.
And your chocolate.
Chocolate, dipped in
Chocolate, vanilla,
chocolate.
and swirl. We all have.
so-
Now, we're reaching across the table because
That's what
I am chocolate.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm every day, not
Yeah.
necessarily soft serve ice cream, but this
Yeah.
is chocolate.
Yeah.
I already had my chocolate today.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I won't have more later, but I had some.
Yeah.
Melissa, your favorite?
My favorite's a turtle sundae. Give me the vanilla with the caramel and the pecans, a little bit of hot fudge, like the fancy. I like the fancy ones.
You can't go wrong with that. However, now I'm going to give this away to the listeners. Chuck is like, why do you want to ruin perfectly good chocolate and caramel with nuts?
Yeah.
And people like nuts, and obviously you do.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
do.
sorry, but don't put any pecans or nuts near my chocolate.
Right.
What are you thinking? Anyway, that's a whole
Yeah.
different story. Well, so obviously there's a great deal of excitement, and you said, Morgan, you said that you were very excited about this coming up, and you're
Yes.
going to be there. You're going to
Yes.
be there like every day working,
Yes, I will be.
serving up cones.
Yes, I'm gonna be the master of serving cones.
The cone master.
The cone master.
Yes,
I like
the cone master.
Madison,
I'm gonna
you're-
make it better than my dad's.
it. Ooh, sounds like a competition.
It is a
Well, you know what? That's going to be great for the customers because you guys are going to be trying to make the best cones
Exactly.
ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
You know what? Which we got to touch on. And Madison, I'm going to ask you. So you're in Denver, like. How are you
Yeah.
going to be? How are you going to be at the window at Loveland Dairy Whip when you're in Denver? What's
She's gonna be on
the-
Well, you know
FaceTime.
what?
She's gonna be on FaceTime.
We don't have soft serve here in Denver, and very little do we have it in Colorado. We don't know. Me and my best friend actually have tried to figure this out if it's because of the altitude or not. Like the machine can't pressurize correctly or something. But I'm going to be at that window because I don't get soft serve here. So you best believe whether it's by car or by plane, I'm going to be there a lot.
She
Yeah, she does
plans.
visit pretty often.
She
She
does
does
plan to
visit.
be there opening weekend.
Going to get those frequent flyer miles rising up.
Madison, it's extra money.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't wait to meet you face to face. It's just so much fun just having you here with us on the phone, Madison, and sharing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yes,
so-
it's great to be here. I love retelling the story about how it all started, and it was so great to be able to be there with my dad while he was visiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we're very grateful because it sounds like, and this I'm going to let your dad and everybody share the story yourself as well, that they're going to keep the traditions up at Loveland Dairy Whip, and the people are going to be familiar with it. So we're glad that you guys got together in Denver and you got
Amen.
talking about that.
For sure. I wouldn't change anything. This is I'm burning the wick at both ends because I'm committed to excellence in my day job, and I'm moonlighting with ice cream in my night job. But I'm wired that way. I can't sit still. And we have some really exciting things that we're adding to the whip, menu items and some other things that it's just so awesome. Like it's just awesome. I mean, our story being reshared on Facebook, I think 100
Yeah, 100
reshares. Or something. I mean,
something,
just
yeah.
it's just
Well,
Yeah.
and I'm going to pat myself on the back. Did I tell you a month ago? It's talk now, or
Right.
2 months when it happened in November.
yeah.
And I got word, and we reached
Yeah.
out and contacted. Said, okay, let's let Christmas happen, but then let's just
Yeah.
jump on it.
Yep.
You know, and because the people wanted to know, and I have to ask this too.
Yeah.
We can talk Loveland Dairy Whip some more, and we will. But Bruce Wayne Enterprises, and they can't see it, but I can. Batman on your phone.
And I've got my own bat symbol I created, and my
And
own.
his bat belt,
My
and
own
his
belt
bat
buckle.
belt.
Everything is.
It's unbelievable. All right, so
I have the
and
answer.
bad glass.
I have
All right,
the
what's the
answer.
story with Bruce Wayne?
So it's I don't want to take up all the time. All right. So
Make it a quick one,
Okay.
short version.
All right. So,
You can tell people at the window when they come in.
Yeah. So real quick, why Batman? First, I got to start with that. His number one gift, his superpower, is he's incorruptible. His second superpower is he has unlimited hope for the people of Gotham. And thirdly, he's human. Think about it. He wasn't born in another planet.
And he doesn't
can't-
try to kill people.
He does, and he will not kill anybody. So his moral integrity, and the reality is, I mean this, anybody could be Batman. I mean, he's truly just human. So
But you're not
so-
the first Batman I've ever known.
Right,
Just so you know.
Exactly. There you
So
go.
that's the
Right,
point.
right. So that's number one. And first and foremost, Christ is the ultimate role model. But for me, if I can try to be like Bruce Wayne or Batman, that's pretty good company. So that's kind of the backstory on that. Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun for people trying to figure out who's the buyer because somebody looked and saw the Bruce Wayne.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah, and went crazy.
So the other thing with the Bruce Wayne legacy that owns the Loveland Dairy Whip is this is truly a legacy for the community and my family. So the reason why Bruce Wayne chose the bat symbol is because it's everlasting. If you remember when he told Alfred why it's got to be something bigger than him, and that's what. Putting my ego aside, it's not the Luke Wiley legacy. The Bruce Wayne legacy is something that we can build on, and my children and grandchildren can be a part of, and not the Luke legacy. Yeah. So that's where Bruce Wayne came from. The other thing that
2020, real quick, 2025.
Yeah.
Is going to be your first year.
Yeah.
70 years. And you just talked about your children.
Right.
And your grandchildren.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Loveland Dairy Whip's going on for like another 70 years.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So
even longer than that.
So the other,
thank you. I like that.
The other wild thing that I flirted with, because I do some things within the community anonymously, under certain names, if you will, is I flirted with the idea of, I mean this, being anonymous, where no one knew who the owners of the Loveland Dairy Whip is. That's how much doing this for the community is like being around the crowd where they're wondering who
they
the
don't
owner
know
is.
you're
They have
in.
no idea, and I'm picking up whatever.
Well, I apologize. I spoiled that whole thing.
That's okay. That's okay. But that
pushed
was
you- I pushed you beyond your limit.
But truth be told, I mean that was kind of the delay. We
that
bought it
was-
November 25th, exactly,
that was
Morgan,
so real.
where I was still kind of over a month or two. But I'm like, how do we stay and not? You know what I'm saying? And so that was one of the things we were thinking about was remaining anonymous indefinitely. But
Well, that would have been a difficult trick. I don't care how much magic you
100%.
have. Well, because again, I think one of the things that people want,
yeah,
and you know this,
Yeah.
and we would be remiss if we didn't mention, especially Teresa Flint Morgan, but Teresa
Right.
and Rick Morgan,
Right.
Because Teresa's parents are the
Yes.
ones that
the
built
Flints, right?
Yeah.
built that building.
Amen.
This isn't,
Yeah.
It's not just Loveland Dairy Whip since 1955. It's right there in that building,
100%.
on that spot.
Yes.
And so you could, and that's fair. I mean, they got to have the owner sitting in the drive-through window, not scooping, but pulling that thing.
Totally
and,
agree,
And
yeah.
battling with Morgan to make the best one.
Yeah. And that's where I can still do some of the other stuff I do.
Yeah.
And and what's neat about it, how it rhymes with Teresa was 13 to 14 when her parents, the Flints, bought it.
Right.
And here Morgan's 13, turning 14 next month.
Yeah.
So just it's been awesome, and getting to know Teresa and Rick and how genuine they are, and also how they want to help us.
Well, and let's
Continue,
talk
yeah.
about that a little bit, because I know the first time you and I met, I don't know what, 6 weeks ago,
Yeah.
maybe even longer.
Yeah, before Christmas,
before we wrote any stories. Actually, it was before Christmas.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, but we talked about the role that they're going to play as you guys open up.
Yes.
And so first thing, opening day is
The 28th.
Which is gonna be that
of February.
Friday.
It's always so. Ideally, I was thinking I'd like to open in warmer weather, possibly. But if you remember Billy Crystal and City Slickers, keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
I'm really big on that. I don't want to change any of the tradition that the Morgans did, the Flints and the Morgans.
Right.
So it's always the first weekend of March 1st.
Right.
So coincidentally is February 28th is a Friday. So opening day will be Friday, February 28th.
And as we record this in what we call Studio C today,
There we go. There we go.
but as we're sitting in Studio C on January the 29th, you are just like that many days away.
Correct.
We can't even say a
Less
full
than a
month because
month.
it's 29th to the 28th.
Correct.
So it's about a
Correct.
month from opening. But again, so we kind of sidetracked a little bit with getting on the date. So it's obviously
Yeah.
going to open the 28th, that Friday, then the 1st and the 2nd of March. But Rick and Teresa, they're going to help you get it going. What's
Yes,
the
yes. So
story?
they're enjoying retirement right now. The sunshine. They've done a great job escaping the weather we've had the last few weeks.
I'm jealous.
Yep. So they're coming back Valentine's Day. So Rick and I are going to be together, and our chief operating officer Julian, who's phenomenal, who's going to be there. He's going to be my feet on the ground
Right.
at the Loveland Dairy Whip full time. We'll be with Rick on February 14th, and we're going to start. We're already doing a lot right now behind the scenes and calling Rick every so often just to get like, hey, is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? But we'll be in person with them on the 14th of February. Then we're going to order our inventory, and then so you'll see movement happening in the parking lot
Right.
for the next couple weeks thereafter.
Yeah.
And then Rick and Teresa will be with us full time for the month of March.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. They're going to
Yep.
stay for the whole month.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know what the timing was going to
Yep.
be.
Yep.
So, Madison, you already indicated that you're going to get here as much as you can and be in that window as well.
Yes.
So, and I also want to say this now for the listeners. Madison's been with us by phone. I know you're going to have to scoot out at some point, so don't forget to shout at us and say goodbye when you take off. But I wanted to get you in again, but before you go. What are you looking forward to, Madison, in terms of really being there, especially opening day? I mean, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see. I was born and raised in Cincinnati. Being the oldest, I kind of got to see the city with my parents since they weren't raised there, so we all got new experiences. And I'm excited to see my old friends from St. Susanna, from Ursula, from, UC. I've already had a lot of people reach out that they can't wait to visit, so I'm really excited to both see old friends, excuse me, my southern accent came out there, but I'm excited to see old friends and also bring my new friends that I've made from Cincinnati. So I'm just genuinely excited for the people and the joy that we can bring through LDW.
Cool. Outstanding. So,
Something.
go ahead.
Something I do want to share. If you and maybe you asked this when you interviewed me for the print, but if not, I'd like to share it now. And I shared this with Rick and Teresa. I rewatched. I do a lot of Trust but Verify. The Ronald Reagan dictum, and I looked at all this footage and all these interviews that. Teresa would tell you she doesn't like doing interviews, so Rick would always be the one doing the interviews. Yeah, you know that firsthand. And something that Rick would continue to share is that it's high quality, it's premium soft serve. And as I've learned, Julie and I went up to a food expo in Sandusky, Martin Luther King weekend.
Okay.
And what I'm really proud about is we have the highest cost per cone in the city, literally. And these are really good people that I met up there who do ice cream here in town, and they were talking to me about, you can cut costs, no one will tell, go lower in butterfat. And for me, that's what brought me to the Loveland Dairy Whip is we don't want to be the Walmart of ice cream where it's all about quantity. For me, I want to protect the quality, and I love being different and better. In life, if you're ever going to change, two things have to happen. It has to not only be better, but is it different? And if you can do those two things. So for me, it's really true, because I went up to the Food Expo and learned more and more about our ingredients. It is what Rick said.
Wow.
The quality and the cost, which is fine, it's amazing stuff.
Yeah. It was on purpose.
Oh,
it has been on purpose all along.
100%.
It was amazing. It's been years ago.
Yeah.
That I talked to them, because there's soft serves around.
Right.
And there's another one that before the Loveland Dairy Whip added the creamsicle.
Yeah.
The orange, which is the dreamsicle.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to know the name of it, but I don't. You'll know. But anyway, the orange one, the orange cream.
Yeah.
And Loveland Dairy Whip didn't offer that particular flavor at the time. And I was talking with them, because there's another place. I said, when I want the orange cream one, I have to go to, we won't name the other place.
Yeah.
And it's many miles away. It's not right in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they, of course, they're aware. And I said, they got pretty darn good soft serve too.
Yeah.
And that's when, Rick and Teresa shared exactly the same thing you just shared. It is the premium. It is the highest cost. It is 100%. The highest butter fat that you can do without killing us.
Bingo. And I trusted everything they said, but it just reaffirmed the quality of our product.
Right.
Even though it cost me more, it's really neat to know. It's awesome. And,
it's important.
And it was his interviews, frankly, of Rick talking about its quality that we provide to our customers. And when he said that, I'm like, I want to be great in all things to few people, not again, the masses, kind of the Walmart model.
Well, we're going to go really fast, because we got about 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get to Melissa.
Please.
We're going to see you at the window, yes?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You see me.
Regularly.
Yep.
Okay. And no pressure.
I'll be there.
So, I just think I'm looking so forward to it, because it's going to be interesting, especially the fact that you're going to have Rick and Teresa helping at the beginning.
Yep.
It's just going to be really interesting to see. And Madison, one of the things, you're talking about seeing old friends and everything when you come. Keep your eyes open for the Loveland Valentine ladies. They're going to be there a lot. Okay. But the Loveland Valentine's ladies will come out in force on Friday the 28th. And one of them, at least one of them, will be first at the window. Trust me.
Wow.
Happens all the time.
That's awesome.
It, could be a competition this year. Somebody might try to beat them to the window.
That's awesome.
But anyway, so we're going to get to see, and we're going to get to see Jake.
We'll see. Oh, yeah.
And Leah,
Leah.
who couldn't join us today, not by phone or in person.
Leah has a new summer job. It's called the Loveland Dairy Whip. So Leah and Morgan.
Well, Morgan threw down the gauntlet and said, I'm going to make the best. So I'm pretty sure Jake and Leah and Madison.
We're all in.
And already Dad's like, okay, it's a competition.
I'll be there, 100%.
We're all in. We're all in.
Well, it only really matters when I come and I get the one I like.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, guys. Well, I have to jump off now, but thank you so much, and it's been great talking to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Madison.
Hey, again, Madison, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Take care.
Yes, bye.
Bye.
And we're like a minute to go anyway, so her timing was wonderful. Is there? I want to bring this up, so you don't. And Kate, I don't know if you'd forget it or not.
Yeah.
But I think one of the key things, the questions have already come out, even with that first printed story and the things that are happening on Facebook. You've probably seen it. And people have said, get the credit cards. So make the announcement official.
I can't. All I have to say is stay tuned on Friday.
Okay,
Social media.
We put it out there last week. We have exciting news this Friday.
Yeah.
We're going to have amazing news the following Friday. And then additional news to follow. We have some really
exciting news every Friday on social media.
Let's just say I've got some interesting things on my island at home of things that we're adding to the menu. But my family's like, what, right, Morgan? Isn't it funny?
How much was it? 200?
Well, 288 of these things.
Yes.
But hey, and then 1,800 of something else. So
there's going to be a lot
anyhow,
of exciting announcements.
Exciting.
Just watch social media every Friday.
Pretty much every Friday.
Between now and opening.
Right.
Yep.
Watch social media, and every once in a while, Loveland Beacon will throw something out there for you too. But I'll at least share it. I'll be watching for it, and I can't wait to see you guys on opening day, Friday, February 28th, at
2 p.m.
I knew that.
Yep. 2 to 9. Yep.
2 to 9 on Friday, February 28th, and it all gets started then.
Yes.
And listen, Melissa,
Yeah.
thanks for encouraging him,
Yes.
supporting him along the way.
Absolutely, yep.
Yes.
And, Madison already said her share. Thanks for being there. Well, being here right now, but being
Yep.
there, and challenging them to the best ice cream
This
out
is
the
her
window.
first podcast too, Chuck. She'll never forget this. And Melissa said it's her first, so
You did pretty well.
yeah,
Thank you.
pretty well. I mean, you're swiveling in your seat a little bit, but that's okay.
Well,
They
yeah.
can-
See, nobody knows that.
Exactly.
She is. I'm going to tell you, she is stoic.
Yeah.
But you can't say, you don't even want to be stoic. You want to have those like bright smiling eyes that I can see that nobody else can see right now.
Yeah.
But obviously you're excited and going to have fun.
Yes,
Yes.
very.
And at
Dad,
the end
I'm
of
just
the
doing this because I'm excited.
I know it's fine.
yeah. Well, and at the end of the day, Luke, thank you.
Yeah, it's my honor.
Absolutely.
I think I can say on behalf of Loveland and all the Loveland Dairy Whip fans that are going to be there to check you out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My goal is to not let them down. So that is my thing with my family too, is I always want to be valuable. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the opportunity, everyone in Loveland and around Loveland. And our going line you're going to find with the staff is we'll make it right. So if we mess up, we don't give you enough cherries, whatever, just let us know. And guess what? We'll make it right. That's going to be our line. Whatever it is, we'll make it right. So
Excellent.
thank you.
Well, you made it right today here on Loveland Beacon Talks. Thanks for joining us. And until next time,
Awesome.
or in this case, until February 28th.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
Oh, are we still recording?
Yeah, we're
also
you're still
looking
on.
at doing. We haven't the date yet, but a summer kickoff, like ribbon cutting, and
They're going to see that on those Friday news to
Oh,
come.
yeah.
So there's more news to
Yeah.
come,
More news
and we'll
to
be
come.
sharing that story.
Yep. Awesome.
But for now, that's it.
Great. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Chuck.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks so much to the Wileys for joining us here on Loveland Beacon Talks, the ice cream special serving. Remember, everybody, opening day at the Loveland Dairy Whip is just 28 days away. The Wileys can't wait to serve you your favorite soft serve ice cream treat. For now, I'm Chuck Gibson saying thanks for listening here on Loveland Beacon. Loveland Beacon Talks is a presentation of Loveland Beacon Digital Media and Gibson Communications, LLC.